Sauce number one is a Chinese garlic chili sauce. I like to add ginger in mine. Got a bit of sugar, 3 cloves of garlic, 15 chilies all chopped up, the fresh red long chilies. And then I got these Chinese dried chilies. You can use Szechuan chilies, chili flakes, regular chili flakes, chili powder if you got that in your cupboard, whatever you want. And then I got about 300 mils of regular canola oil. You can use peanut oil, any low flavored oil like that with a higher smoking point. All right, 150 mils of the oil, okay? So about half of it. And we're gonna cook our garlic off slowly at about medium heat. And our ginger, okay? So come take a look. There we go. Got about a number 4 on my stove. And you don't want this to brown too much. You want there to be enough oil. We're gonna add your fresh chilies to it, okay? So we're gonna cook this off for about 5 minutes and we'll see how we go, all right? All right, so we're back and it's slightly starting to color right now, just a little bit. So now you wanna chuck in your chilies, okay? So they've been chopped up. So now we're gonna cook this down just like that. So now we're gonna cook this down for about 10 minutes, okay? All right, so now it's been 10 minutes. Now the oil has really been infused with all the chilies. So we got our sugar, about, a little over a teaspoon of sugar. And we're gonna put that in and let that dissolve in the warm oil. It won't take long at all for it to do that. And then what we're gonna do is that rest of the oil, remember that? We're gonna turn up the heat a little bit. So when this oil goes in, it's gonna keep at the same temperature. And then we're gonna add all those chili flakes, okay? So now we got this oil. We'll give it a stir. Bring it up to temp. And just watch it because you don't want everything to burn. I got it cranked right now at 9. But I'm gonna watch it pretty carefully. And then when the oil's up to temp and everything starts bubbling again, then I'm gonna add all of the dried chilies. Okay? And remember, if you this is isolation cooking, so whatever you got in your cupboard, you can use. Yeah, and I've used this old chili powder for this before. You can use Italian chili flakes. You can use the Szechuan chili flakes. Middle Eastern chilies, whatever you want, really. So now, this is finally coming up. You can turn it down before anything burns to 3. So a medium low. And then we're gonna add all these chilies. And you want it to kind of shock in there and still keep bubbling with the dried chilies. And then you're gonna end up with this awesome looking chili sauce. Okay, so we're gonna let that cook for about another 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna season it with about 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I like to use a light soy sauce for this one. Don't use a dark one, it's way too flavorful for it. All right, so that's all incorporated now. And it's gonna get to your nose. You're gonna be sneezing, choking people out in your house. But now it's cooled down slightly, so it's just only slightly bubbling. Now we're gonna add our soy sauce and give it a stir. And we're just gonna let that cool. And then you can, if you want it to cool quicker, transfer it to another vessel, not plastic. All right. And then it'll cool down quicker, like another bowl. And that is your Chinese chili sauce in. Woo! Oh, It'll get you. That's balls to the wall, but it's fucking delicious. All right. Sauce number 2. Okay, we're doing a ginger scallion sauce. So I'm gonna put about 200 mils of oil in there. I got a number 5 medium heat, and now we're gonna chop up the ginger and scallions for this. Okay. So you want the white. Okay, Eddie. Back on here. All right, now the ginger. Okay, the little nub that I saved from earlier. Then I'm gonna make a good batch of that. So that was 5 green onions. I got a good little nuggin, little, you know, thumb size piece of ginger here. Now,
a pretty big
everybody always says peel the ginger with a spoon. Okay. And you know what? They're right, because it's really easy. Except when you got the nubbins on there, all right? So you want to peel it with a spoon. You don't lose too much. This ginger is really fresh, so you don't really need to peel too much off of it. There we go. So now I'm gonna take my shitty little microplane that I got at the op shop about 7 years ago. I'm still too cheap to buy a new one. I'm just gonna grind it. Still does the trick though, you know? Still works. Still works. All that there, and this one, okay? Yo, there you go. All right, now, so this sauce is super easy because you essentially have 2 ingredients that you have to prep, and then you season it just with a little bit of soy, and that's it. You can add rice wine vinegar to it if you want it to be more of like a dressing. No, it's way too big for that. So I'm gonna give that a quick little chop. If you got a good microplane, you won't have to do this, okay? There we go. Put that in there. And then I got the green onions in there. And that's it, okay? So I got my oil heating up. Come over here now. So your oil, you want it to be getting to the hot point, but not smoking hot. So you want it to be really, you should have it move really easily. Probably about like 140 degrees. Normally a deep fryer cooking French fries is at like 180. Okay, so just lower than that. So now I had it heating up at 6. Now that I'm ready for it to go in the bowl, I'm gonna crank it to 9 until it really gets temperature. And if you want a little trick, you know what you can do to see if it's ready? Chuck a little one of these in there. Boom, see how it's bubbling like that? It's almost there. So you want it to be pretty hot because when it goes in the bowl, the green onions and your ginger are gonna be cold. So it's gonna cool down quickly, but you want it to be hot enough where it's gonna keep bubbling and cooking it. And you want a big enough bowl where it's not going to, you know what? I'm probably gonna get a bigger bowl. Safety first here. There we go. It's cooking bare feet here. All right, so now we're at a good temp. You can see that green onion is gone. So we're gonna slowly go in there. You see the bubbles? You see the bubbles happening? That's what we want, okay? There we go. So now that, because you dumped the hot oil in there, it's gonna totally infuse the flavor of the oil. And what you can do when it cools down, if you want a sesame flavor in this sauce or a Chinese chili sauce, you can always add sesame oil to it, but you want to do it when it's cool. Then you'll really get the flavor and you won't burn the oil. All right, so those are our 2 sauces. One last thing, I'm gonna add a little bit of soy just to season it up here, okay? So just about a tablespoon of soy. And that's gonna give you a good seasoning for it, okay? There we go.